Comfort feels harmless. It feels earned. After years of effort, you finally reach stability. A predictable income, a controlled routine, a life without sharp edges. And naturally, you protect it. You avoid disruption. You avoid discomfort. You avoid uncertainty. Because uncertainty feels dangerous. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Comfort is not neutral. It does not simply maintain your level. It slowly adjusts it. Your standards lower quietly. Your ambition softens gradually. Your tolerance for difficulty shrinks subtly. Not in one dramatic collapse, but in small, reasonable decisions. You skip the harder option. You delay the uncomfortable move. You justify staying where it feels safe. And over time, comfort stops being a reward. It becomes a cage. Not one you can see, but one you can feel. Because growth demands friction, and comfort removes it. Comfort is not just a feeling. It is a neurological reward. Your brain is wired to conserve energy, to avoid unnecessary effort, to avoid unpredictable outcomes. When you choose the familiar path, your brain releases small amounts of dopamine, not the intense dopamine of excitement, but the quiet dopamine of predictability. And predictability feels safe. Over time, your nervous system begins to associate comfort with survival. Familiar equals safe. Safe equals correct. And anything unfamiliar, even if it represents growth, triggers resistance. Your brain does not distinguish between physical danger and psychological discomfort. To your nervous system, uncertainty feels like a threat, so it nudges you back to routine, back to predictability, back to what it already understands. This is how comfort becomes addictive, not through pleasure, but through relief. Relief from effort, relief from risk, relief from the unknown. And relief is powerful because it feels responsible, it feels mature, it feels logical, but it slowly reduces your tolerance for challenge. The less friction you experience, the weaker your response to difficulty becomes. And over time, your potential shrinks to fit your comfort zone. Ambition rarely disappears overnight. It fades quietly. At first, you still have big ideas. You still imagine expansion, growth, more. But comfort changes your standards. It whispers, "This is enough," and enough feels responsible. You tell yourself you'll push harder later, next month, next year, when things feel more stable. But stability becomes addictive, and your definition of progress adjusts. You stop aiming for exceptional. You aim for manageable. You stop pursuing growth. You pursue maintenance. And maintenance feels productive. You stay busy. You stay organized. You stay efficient. But you stop stretching. And without stretch, capacity declines. The uncomfortable truth is this: your ambition does not die dramatically. It adapts to your environment. If your environment demands little, your ambition shrinks to fit it. And one day you realize you are no longer building upward. You are simply preserving what you have. Breaking the comfort cycle does not require chaos. It requires intention. Most people believe growth demands extreme action. It doesn't. It demands controlled discomfort, small exposures to uncertainty, deliberate friction. You don't destroy your routine, you upgrade it. You introduce difficulties strategically. You choose the harder option on purpose. You take on projects that stretch your current capacity. You increase your standards before your environment forces you to. Because comfort is automatic, growth is intentional. If you wait to feel ready, you will wait forever. Instead, train your nervous system. Expose it to manageable stress, public speaking, skill development, calculated financial decisions, physical discipline. Not to shock yourself, but to expand tolerance. The goal is not to eliminate comfort. The goal is to outgrow it. Because when you increase your threshold for discomfort, opportunity stops feeling threatening and starts feeling accessible. Comfort is not the enemy. Misusing it is. Comfort was never designed to be a permanent state. It was designed for recovery, for reflection, for rebuilding strength after effort. Every high performer understands this. Rest is strategic. Silence is strategic. Stability is strategic. But strategy becomes stagnation when it loses intention. Comfort should be temporary, a controlled environment where you regain clarity, not a place where you reduce your ambitions to fit the space. Because comfort has a subtle side effect. It lowers urgency. It softens hunger. It convinces you that maintenance is enough. And maintenance feels productive. You wake up, you work, you manage, you optimize, but you no longer expand. True growth follows a rhythm: stress, recovery, expansion. Stress, recovery, expansion. When you remove stress completely, the cycle breaks, and without friction, capacity plateaus. Comfort should restore your energy, not define your limits. You step into it to recharge. Then you step out to challenge yourself again. That is balance, not permanent ease. Permanent ease shrinks resilience. It narrows perspective. It slowly trains your nervous system to avoid intensity. But intensity is where transformation lives. So redefine comfort. Let it serve you. Let it protect you when necessary, but never allow it to quietly become your ceiling. The most dangerous addictions are not dramatic. They don't ruin your life in chaos. They don't collapse your world overnight. They preserve it, just enough. Comfort does not look destructive. It looks responsible. It looks balanced. It looks mature. That is why it is powerful. Because it convinces you that nothing is wrong. You are stable. You are functioning. You are surviving. But survival is not expansion. And over time, you begin to confuse peace with progress. You mistake stability for growth. You protect what you have instead of multiplying it. The silent addiction to comfort does not destroy ambition. It negotiates with it. It reduces it. It reshapes it into something smaller, something manageable, something safe. Until one day, you look around and realize your life is contained. Not broken, not chaotic, contained. And containment feels calm. But calm is not the same as alive. So ask yourself carefully, are you resting or retreating? Are you stabilizing or shrinking? Because comfort can protect your present, but only discomfort can expand your future.